I know that already. I've heard that before. I'm a Kia. Know it all. Do you really know it all? It's a question I ask myself every day because, of course, the answer is no. I can't possibly know it all. And all I know as I learn more and more every day is I don't know very much. That's the big thing that I learn every day. I need to keep learning. And what happens if you stop learning? Is it possible that your brain rots away? And I'm asking the question because I do hear this on a regular basis, sadly. People say to me, I know that already. I've heard it before. I don't need to do any more education. I just need to get a bit of paper. And that's a common thing because we've got an International Fitness Business College. I've run a business before. I've got an International Business and Marketing degree. Or I've lost weight, or I've had a baby, or I'm a sports person, so I don't need to learn anymore. I know everything already about nutrition and exercise. I just need a bit of paper. I'm trying to keep a straight face because for me that's really entertaining. It makes me laugh. I've been literally working in the exercise profession as a full-time exercise professional since the age of 14 and 9 months. And I've been learning every single day, and I'll share it again. All I know is I don't know very much because the more I learn, the more I realise I've got to learn. And particularly when it comes to the human body, there's so much to learn and it's so exciting to actually block your brain off and say, I don't need to learn anymore because I know it all already. And I hate being a smartass and I never will be. I often think to myself though, if I ask you to explain to me how the hormonal system works, how do myokines send a message from your muscle back to your brain for you to get stronger? How do the macronutrients work inside your body? How does the cardiovascular system actually get fit? How do you effectively and efficiently test for fitness and strength? How does the body get strong? What happens in the Krebs cycle when you need to create energy for ATP so that you can do all the things that you need to do? And I would never ask those questions because most people, and because I used to be a smartass, I used to be much younger and I used to like to prove people wrong. I don't do that anymore. It's embarrassing. And that's one of the things I've learned, you see. When you learn about communication, it's never about making people feel bad. It's to aim to inspire people to want to learn more, inspire people to not be know-it-alls. And if I'm a know-it-all and I treat somebody like I know it all and they don't, then of course we're going to have a horrible relationship. This is just a very personal, and I always get into my begging position. We're aiming, of course, and I'm sure you are if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss or a leader, to educate, inspire, motivate people to be critical thinkers, to think for themselves, to analyse information, to research information rather than just blindly believe what people tell them. But is it possible that the world is filled with people who have been told how to think, not how to think for themselves? People that have been told you can't, you mustn't, you shouldn't, so they don't. People who've been told you're too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, too old, too young, too inexperienced, you can't do it, so they've believed the person that's told them. And could that be a lack of understanding or a lack of knowledge of how to analyse what somebody says to you? Because if somebody says to you, you can't be successful in business, rather than just blindly believe them, why would you do that? How about ask them, have you done this before? How do you know that I can't be successful? How do you know what skills, tools and knowledge I need to be successful in this business? Just because you've failed doesn't mean that I'm going to fail. But it seems that we don't feel comfortable asking those questions or delving deeper into the information that people deliver to us because perhaps we don't know enough. I'll use another example. People go to the doctor or a medical professional and they're told you've got this disease or this injury and it's going to take this long to recover, or you might not recover at all. As we know, a lot of that is either not true or completely untrue. The number 3 killer in the world right now is medical misdiagnosis. So would it be a good idea not to believe the person who you think knows everything about your body because they might be wrong? What if you learn about how your human body works so that when you have to go, if you ever have to, God forbid, go to a doctor or a medical professional or a hospital, that you go there asking great questions. I use another example. A really gorgeous person in my life has just been diagnosed with a certain kind of cancer and they've been told they have to have a cancer surgery. Well, I asked some questions about alternatives, different medications, get a second opinion. And it turns out that this woman doesn't have to have surgery after all. There are different things that she can do for this particular kind of cancer. And I ask that question because if you go to a surgeon, is it possible that that's what surgeons do? They do surgery. And why would I'll defend that forever, because that's what surgeons do. They've learnt how to do it. So if you go to see them, they're going to want to do surgery. So rather than just blindly listen and accept and believe, they might be right, but what if they're wrong? Wouldn't it be nice to know? Particularly with medical diagnosis, because the third biggest killer in the world is medical misdiagnosis, which means you could end up dead or sick or injured or worse. So are you learning every day? And that's my personal question for the people in your life who you are inspiring to be able to have a career or business that they love, be financially free, have great relationships so they're good communicators, and really importantly, to be healthy, fit and strong. If you're not learning about those things every day, and if you're not asking questions, if you're not analysing and researching for yourself, is it possible that the people that are relying on you, they won't be inspired to do that because you just blindly believe? And I hear this from parents all the time. I read on social media, or I heard this social media influencer say, or I listened to the news, or the government said, and they're now applying that to their family. So their family's eating a certain way or taking a medication or living a certain way because they were told by an expert. And I always ask, did you get a second opinion? Have you researched that for yourself? Do you know what's going on there? Again, I'll go back to the medical challenges, because when you deal with medical challenges, that can deal, or if you don't deal with them effectively, you can have some really bad results. One of the great questions to ask if you're ever told to go on a medication is, what are the side effects of this medication? What will happen if I take this medication? What will happen if I don't? Rather than just blindly accept that the person that's giving you the medication knows what they're talking about. If you are constantly learning and growing, and the most important thing about learning for me is not learning information, it's learning about how to dissect information, analyze information, ask the right questions so that you get better information from the so-called experts. If you are given two opposing opinions, wouldn't it be nice to know how to analyze those opposing opinions to get the best advice for you? And you can't do that if you don't learn. Now, behind me in this library is a really interesting thing I've learned about learning. As an old lady, I'm learning every day. What I have learned, there's a lot of books and there's a lot of information. A lot of it's opinion, a lot of it's never been put into practice. So one of the things I don't have in my library are books that have been written by people who haven't done anything in that particular area. So if somebody's written a book about business but they've never owned a business, I don't want that book in my library because they don't really know about running a business, they've never had one. If somebody talks about their sport or how you can or can't be good at sport but they've never played that sport, I'm not interested in that book because they don't know that you can't tell somebody about a sport if you've never played the sport yourself. If you don't have surely there's got to be some kind of credibility attached to the information that you put into your brain. So could that be a great thing to learn about the person that's giving you information about learning? What is the credibility they have to tell me stuff? Have they done it? Have they experienced it? Have they failed at it? Have they achieved at it? One of the really important things about research studies, because I'm sure you hear this all the time, research shows, clinical research studies that have been conducted have shown this. Well, I always ask this very important question. Show me the research. I want to read it for myself. Don't just quote a research study to me. Show me the research that you're quoting. And then my next really important question is this, and I'm asking this because I'm an old lady who's been fooled too many times. Who financed the research study? Who paid for it? Follow the money. And it's really interesting because most of the things that we believe as humans in the Western world, the research studies that are quoted were done by people who financed that study to prove their point, whether it's about food or medication or exercise machinery. The person that wanted to prove their point financed the study. Surely we can understand that that's biased. But I had to learn that the hard way because I've got a body that's completely screwed up because I listened to medical experts, exercise physiologists, people who I thought were really good at what they did, but I hadn't learned for myself about how the human body works. So I believe the experts, and now I've got a screwed up body. Now that's not their fault. It's my fault because I didn't learn. That's why I'm learning every day. I'm learning and studying and researching and analysing every single day so that my mind can keep growing. And that's, I think, the most important thing. If you stop learning, if you say to yourself, I know that already, and I always uppercut myself if I ever hear myself say that, I know that already. No, I don't. I don't know everything there is to know about that topic. I don't know how to explain it the most effective way. There's a better way to understand it. There's people who know more about it than I do. For me to say I know that already is just so, I think for me, irresponsible. And I feel really stupid when I say that, so that's why I give myself an uppercut. What if we just keep learning? And the human brain, if it stops learning, it rots away. And as I always share, that's what happened to my father. My father was a constant learner. He could speak 7 languages fluently. He used to read every day. He was always analysing and researching and studying everything. He taught me to do that. He taught me to question everything. But when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, when he was told that his brain was rotting away and didn't get a second opinion, his brain literally rotted away because he believed the expert. I'll rephrase. My family believed the expert, so they did what the expert said. Because I said to those experts, the human body, every single cell in the human body can regenerate. Why can't brain cells? Why can't we keep my father's brain alive? Why does it have to rot away? And the answer was, it just does. The human brain can't regenerate. That was before 1999, where neurogenesis was discovered. You can grow new brain cells, and you do. Neuroplasticity is you can restructure your brain. You can change the way your brain thinks, the way your brain reacts. You can get stronger, better, wiser, mentally tougher. Your brain can do that. But my family didn't believe that. The experts didn't believe it. My father believed my family, and my father's brain rotted away really fast. I don't want that to happen to me. I certainly don't want it to happen to anybody else, because I watched that happen to my father. It was horrible. So if I want to keep my brain alive, I have to keep learning, I have to keep studying, I have to keep analysing, I have to be healthy, fit and strong, so I've got blood flow and oxygen supply and nutrient supply to my brain. I want to live my life to the max for as long as I'm alive. How about you? That's why I keep learning every day, learning, because I'll never know everything. Woohoo!